Okay, let's take darshan. Let's go to London. So take darshan of Sri Sri Radha London Ishwara. Okay, they were installed in year 1969 at Bury Place. This is opposite British Museum. Okay. And then they also have Sri Sri Giri Govardhan. Anybody doesn't know who is Giri Govardhan? I can explain a little bit. If you don't know. Does everyone know who is Govardhan? Okay, Giri Govardhan means, have you heard of the Govardhan hill that Krishna lifted with his left pinky finger? Yes, so there's like small rocks from that hill. Okay, devotees will take that back home and they will worship that rock. So he is called Giri Govardhan. That's why his name is Giri Govardhan. Okay. So this is the hill that Krishna lifted. And then they also have Sri Sri Jagannath Baladev Subhadra. They also have Gauranitai. And this is the entire altar. Jagannath Baladev Subhadra. They also have, oh, I didn't show. Yeah, this is Radha Landaneshwara. So they have Radha Krishna, they have Jagannath Baladev Subhadra, they have Gauranita, and where is the Giri Govardhan? He's down here. Okay. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chaksurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Thank you everyone for joining. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Gita Mahatmya. Mataji is not around. Darshini Mataji, would you like to replace Subhashini Mataji?
I am present within the Gita, and the Gita is my supreme residence. Only by the knowledge of the Gita do I maintain the three worlds.
Okay, thank you, Mataji. So all the information we have learned and we are still learning how he's maintaining the three world. Okay, with a little bit of knowledge, we are maintaining our family. Okay, Krishna is maintaining the entire universe creation. Okay, okay, let's do recap. Chapter 11. Title of chapter 11. Just 3 days ago. You only had 2 days gap in between. Okay, let's see. Yes, the universal form. Very good. How did the story start in chapter 11? Why Krishna showed that form? Okay, divine vision. Very good. Chupa Charita Sikit. Why this universal form came about? In your own words, with your understanding. Okay. Okay, why? Okay. Arjuna already knows the supremacy of Krishna. He knows who is Krishna. He has faith in Krishna. Why Arjuna wanted to see? All right. All right. What is the important point here? Why Arjuna wants to see? All right. He heard from sages. Okay. Of course, Arjuna asked Krishna to reveal the form. So why Arjuna asked? That is the question. Why Arjuna want to see that? Why you think? What happened in chapter 10? That is the clue. Remember the science subject? Imagine you are the student of the science topic. Can you relate something like that? You can bring in this kind of example. So in chapter 10, Krishna theoretically mentioned about his opulence, yes? And then what could have happened? What could have, okay. So as a student, what would you expect your teacher to do? To show, demo, yeah, to demonstrate, okay? All right. So the reason Arjuna asked Krishna to show his form, is it because he doesn't believe it? Why Arjuna asked? Is it for him? Practical, demonstrate, show, do experiments. Third point. Okay, number one, Arjuna asked Krishna to reveal the form. Number two, okay, he heard this theoretically, and next he wants to show Krishna to show. Why? Is it because Arjuna doesn't believe in Krishna's words? Is that why he asked Krishna to show? It's for us, for people now, okay? Arjuna doesn't have problem. Knowledge for us, okay? So how do we apply this situation? This showing universal form. Pushpa Mataji, how do you think we can use this knowledge or this information that we learn in chapter 11? For devotees, actually is for anyone, for anyone. So you have learned something theoretically from teacher, yes, okay, all right. And then they have to demonstrate, and the result of the experiment should jive with the theory, all right. And if the experiment fail, then something wrong with the experiment or the apparatus that you used or the specimen that you used, you did not use the right specimen. So your experiment is a failure, okay? So nowadays we have self-made God, human-made God, people make somebody God, okay? And that person also will accept that, oh, okay, everybody is telling I am God, so therefore I accept. I didn't say I am God. Everybody is telling I'm God, therefore I'm God, right? So this is how you verify, okay? Ask them to show. Can you show me a universal form? Because Krishna showed. Okay, so this is the application, yeah. So it's very important for us to understand how we can apply this philosophy in our life. Okay, so Arjuna wish to see the all-pervasive form of the Lord. Okay, and before he could see, Krishna gave him the special vision. Okay, this is the recap of chapter 11, yeah. So those who missed the class, so please, you can get the benefit of this recap, okay. Okay, next. There were a series of questions and answers, okay? What happened initially when Krishna started showing the universal form? Initially, what happened? Sandhya Sri Mataji, you want? There's Logeshwari Mataji. Mataji, are you here? Logeshwari Mataji. Okay, Mataji is not here. What happened in the beginning? Who can give a summary? Dasaradan Prabhu, would you like to narrate what happened in the beginning? And then what happened later? Can you tell us a story? In your own words, in your own understanding.
Okay, Mataji.
Hmm.
So in the beginning, okay, Arjuna saw the effulgence of the Supreme Person lah. So the unlimited expansions of the universe on the Krishna is himself.
Hmm.
Later on, he also saw all the demigods and various other living entities on Krishna himself. He saw Brahma sitting on the lotus flower, Lord Shiva also, and all the sages. So
Hmm.
from here, we know that Lord Vishnu created Lord Brahma, and from Lord Brahma, he created the material visions.
Hmm.
Then after that, the situation changed from verse 19 to 21, where Arjuna showing devastating, actually very sorry, the Devas and the Arjuna started to feel fearful and disturbed.
Hmm.
So all the planets and their demigods are disturbed at seeing your great form with so many faces, eyes, arms, and thighs and legs lah.
Hmm.
So in verse 26 and 27, Arjuna saw the Krishna's form, the fearful mouth, his fearful mouth trapped with the heads smashed between his teeth. So
Hmm.
from here we know that Krishna is showing the destruction, the failure of the Kauravas during the
Hmm.
war. So all are dead, and Arjuna is perplexed at this moment.
Hmm.
So in verse 31, the Arjuna concluded that please tell who you are. I want to know about you, for I do not know what your real mission is. That's all,
Hmm.
Mataji.
Very good, Prabhu. Very good summary. Okay, yeah. So whatever Prabhu explained is a very nice sequence. Yeah. Initially, everything was so beautiful. Aneka Adbudam, Aneka Abharanam. Remember all that Aneka, all that very beautiful. Everything was brilliant, wondrous, bright and effulgent. Like how many suns coming together in the sky? Lavanya Mataji, do you remember how many suns coming up together? 100,000. Yeah, that is the comparison mental visual that Sanjaya could give, because we cannot possibly visualize how the situation was there exactly, right? So if you can imagine that, of course, it's inconceivable to have 100,000 brightness of 100,000 suns. Okay, later on, there's a twist. Then things started changing. There were fire coming out from Krishna's mouth, and everybody going inside and getting crushed. Okay, and Arjuna could see all the opponents going inside and crushing, even on Arjuna's side as well. Then when he got so frightened and perturbed, right, disturbed, he asked Krishna, "Who are you, Krishna? What is your mission?" So, question to Prasanna Mataji. What did Krishna answer, Arjuna? From your phone, right?
Krishna answered to Arjuna that I am the time and you are an instrument for the action that goes on.
Okay, Mataji answered, who am I? What is the mission?
The mission is for destruction
He came to
to
destroy.
he came to destroy the
Yeah, he said he came to destroy everyone except Pandavas. Huh? So thank you, Mataji. So Mataji gave 3 points. Huh? Krishna said, I am time, the destroyer. Okay, I came here to destroy people except for some Pandavas and some other people. And the third one, so be instrument in my hand. Okay, these are the 3 things that Krishna said to Arjuna. Time I am, came to destroy everything, become my instrument. These are the important 3 points. And then it followed by Arjuna's prayers. So anybody remember what 2 things that Arjuna did? Or 2 or 3 things? After he knows Krishna is such a huge personality, all the fearful things are coming out, right? So what Arjuna said? Okay. Yeah, yes, he was disturbed. Very good. Very good. Yes, yes, sama-sama. So why he apologized? Yes, Kumuda Mataji, that's right. He asked forgiveness. He apologized because in the past he has treated Krishna very casually. So he apologized. Walking. Okay, Janani, I make you co-host. Tolong help me. Okay, so let me see all your answers. All right, okay, that's one. Okay, he treated Krishna casually in the past, so he apologized. Okay, and then he gave so many examples like father forgive the son. Okay, number two, he glorified Krishna. That is important. Yes, Somasundar Prabhu. Okay, Prasanna Mataji. Forgiveness, apologized, glorified. Oh, why? And then finally, he asked Krishna to show the real form. Okay, and then he felt peaceful, calm, happy. Okay, to see the Krishna two-handed beautiful form. Of course, Krishna showed four-handed form first to show that everything comes from him. Okay, and then we ended the chapter 11 with the verse where Krishna said how the pure devotional service should be, the characteristic of pure devotional service. Do you all remember? What two things you should not have in your devotional service? Yes, you should not have intention for fruitive results. It should not have contaminations and should not have speculations. Very good. Yes, yes, yes. Very good. No contamination, no speculations. Okay. Right. And then removing these two, what the devotee should do. He works, very good. Work for him. Friendly to all beings. And making Krishna as the Sama. Okay. Yes. Very good. Okay, work for him, make him supreme goal, friendly to all. Finally, what Krishna promised if you do all of this? Any other answers? Okay, so we are unison on this one. Okay, comes to me. This is the promise. Okay, so with that, we have recap chapter 11. We have seen his, thank you, Prabhu. So we have seen his universal form. And we are at the end of the Bhakti Yoga segment. Okay, so just to share with you quickly, if a person who is not able to read Bhagavad Gita in full, or if you have somebody who is bedridden, can't read book on their own, so giving them spiritual knowledge at the end, let the ears hear and goes to the soul. There are 3 chapters recommended. First is chapter 2. It's a summary version of Bhagavad Gita. The entire Bhagavad Gita is summarized in chapter 2 and chapter 3. Of course, chapter 2 has a glimpse of Karma Yoga. So basically, chapter 2 is a condensed version of the entire Bhagavad Gita. Chapter 2, chapter 8, attaining the Supreme. What should be the mood when you're leaving the body? So that is chapter 8. Okay, you remember, yeah? Chapter 2, chapter 8. And another chapter that you can read to people who are bedridden or about to leave the body is chapter 12. This is the peak of the devotional segment. This is the peak, maximum. This is maximum already. Okay. All right. So of course, if we have time, we want to read the entire Bhagavad Gita because we need to know how to apply all this information. All right. So this is very important chapter, devotional service. The actual devotional service is coming here. Okay. Here, remember Krishna already shown him a form, a particular form, universal form. And Arjuna still had a question. we should worship. There are two forms of worship. One is personal worship, one is impersonal worship. Personal worship means worshiping God in a form, having a form. Impersonal means worshiping God without a form. So here Krishna asked a question. 12.1. Prasanna Mataji.
Arjuna inquired which are considered to be more perfect. Those who are always properly engaged in your devotional service, or those who worship the impersonal Brahma, the unmanifested.
Right, thank you, Mataji. So here, this is a question on worship of personal or impersonal, personalism or impersonalism. Okay, so when you say impersonal means God without form, like light or fire, which doesn't have a form or shape. Okay, so that's impersonal. So Arjuna worships Krishna in his form. So this question again for people who are not devotee, not personalists. Okay, so this is a question to benefit people. All right, they are, and these are the people who are already on the spiritual path. Means they are already on the spiritual path. They acknowledge there is a creator, there is God, but they don't know about anything about form or nature or qualities of God. So they worship God in a light form or effulgence form. Okay, so that is called the worship of impersonal Brahman. Okay, this is called Brahman worship. Okay, so this is worship by impersonalists. Okay, so that's a term to refer to them. So here, Arjuna is asking, which is better, personal, devotional service or impersonal? When you do devotional service, you are actually serving a solid person, all right? You can't serve light. How do you serve light? So when you say devotional service, then you have to have a person. Okay, if you want to serve your child, then your child must have a form. Your child must be able to see or feel or eat or, so that you can serve the person. So here it indicates the personal worship or impersonal worship, the unmanifested. You can't see with your eyes. Okay, it's unmanifested. So he wants to know from Krishna what is best. It's better to be a devotee or worship the Brahman. Because the devotee, when they address that God has form, then they will engage in the devotional service. Okay, so there are two ways here. There is both ways will reach the destination. Now the question is, which is better? Okay, 12.2. Puginis Mataji has not been coming. Okay, who can go for Mataji? Sandhya Mataji? Sandhya Mataji already given for today, right? Okay.
Yes, I can do this one.
Yeah, can Mataji. Okay.
The supreme personality of Godhead said, those who fix their minds on my personal form and are always engaged in worshiping me with great and transcendental faith are considered by me to be most perfect.
Thank you, Mataji. Okay, and the little one. All right, so Krishna is answering that the personal worship is the best. So the answer from Krishna is very, very clear. Okay, he did not say this is bad, that is good, or if you do this, you can reach me. If you do that, you can't reach me. He didn't say that. All right, he says that this is easy. You can make quick advancement. Therefore, it is to be most perfect, considered by me to be most perfect. Okay, so moving forward, or maybe there were some verses that we have skipped. Krishna, or sometimes he ends the verses like, this is my opinion, in my opinion, considered by me. He will say these kind of words. Okay, so why he says this? When we see subsequent verses, I will explain why he says, considered by me, this is my opinion, I opine to be like this. Okay, we will see that. So this is a clear reply. He says, they fix these devotees, they fix their mind on my personal form. Very clear, huh? Personal form. Number two, he said, and what do? Always engage in worshiping me. Okay, remember, devotional service is very broad category, and there are 9 kinds of nine main kinds of devotional service. Worship is one of it. What is the first devotional service we do? What is the beginning of the devotional service? Number one. Betul ke? Is it correct? Sure. What's the second one? This class very pandai. What's the third one? I'm just gonna go on. First three is very important. Huh? Yeah, you hear, you chant, and if you do it regularly, you cannot escape. You will have to remember the. Yeah, very good. Okay, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam. Chanting, hearing, chanting, remembering. Okay, very good. So worship comes. Worship is what number? The day Shamala Mataji gave, right? Referring to notes ke ni? Or from memory? Oh, everybody gets so correct. Okay, very impressive. Wow, very impressive. This is great. I think this is the best batch. Okay, I never asked this kind of very technical question during my level usually. Okay, very good. All right, so okay. Again, three things, yeah. Fix their mind on my personal form, always engage in worshiping me. So when I go into worship, I already talk about devotional service. I already asked you top 3 and worship is number 5. What was number 4? Jahat, this teacher, she asked the question. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam. Father serve. How do we serve the Lord, the lotus feet of the Lord? Can we actually touch his feet? If you remember the King Ambarisha story, you will be able to tell. How do we apply this number 4? Can he go and touch Krishna's feet? He's already being served by goddess of fortune. How do you engage? Yeah, I like it when you ask me. No. The rest all we can do on our own, right? We can hear, we can chant, we can remember. Yeah. So servicing the lotus feet, we have to see Krishna's feet to serve. So we can't possibly do that. So we engage our legs in Krishna's service. How do we engage our legs in Krishna's service? So ours is not lotus feet, just ordinary feet. How do we serve with our legs? Go to temple, drive to temple. And those who can, what they will do? Yoga is Bhakti Yoga. Yes, this is part of Bhakti Yoga. You can do yoga to keep yourself fit, so you can do some service. That we can relate it that way, okay? Those who can, those who can afford, you can use your legs to visit holy places. Okay, do parikrama. Parikrama means walking at places that Krishna has performed pastimes, like Vrindavan, Mayapur, Jagannath Puri. Okay, so you have to walk, right? So that is called Pada Sevanam, also engaging our own legs in service. Okay, so you already learned how to engage your Pada Sevanam. Otherwise, you'll be thinking how to serve Krishna's feet. Okay, that job got no vacancy. Mother Lakshmi is there. Okay, so 3 things. Worshipping me, focus on the personal form, and then with what mood? Great and transcendental faith, not half-half, not blind faith. Okay, just because Kasthuri Mataji is saying I should do service, no. All right, ask questions, and with great faith, you worship Krishna. Okay, all right, okay. And then, yeah, this is about the easy way. Yeah, there's a hard way, there's an easy way. Okay, he's not saying that you cannot achieve me if you take the other way, but this is easier. Why this is easier? Towards the end of this chapter, you will know why. All right. Okay, so now I'm going to explain to you 3 concepts. Actually, I forgot. There's a story. Mataji, I'm so sorry. I forgot. We will tell the story later. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to explain these three concept, right? God can be realized via three realization. One is Brahman realization, one is Paramatma realization, third one is Bhagavan realization. Okay, so let me tell this story and we will come to the conclusion. Somebody's mic is noisy, yeah? Okay, right. So there are three friends. They went to the railway track. They say they want to see train for the first time in their life. Okay, so from far, what do you see? Yeah, they are already on the track. So these people, they're already on the spiritual path, means they're already on the track. The first thing they see, yes, you're all correct. They see the light. So one person saw, oh, God is light. All right. Or okay, rather you say, oh, the train looks like light. It's an effulgence. Okay, I know how train looks like. And then he goes back. So the two remaining people, they want to see what is behind the light. Okay, if there is a light, then there should be a source. So they waited. When they waited, they saw the engine passing by or coming close. So the second person saw, oh, the train is an engine. This is where the light is coming from. Okay, great. I know how train is. What train is. I know how train looks like. Okay, and then he goes home. The third person stayed on. Does engine move by its own? There must be something. There must be a source, right? That's moving the engine. So he stayed and he saw, hey, there are people inside the train and there is a driver in the train. All right. And he is the one switching off and on the light and starting the engine. So he is the operator inside. He is the life of the train. All right. Because of him, the train is moving. All right. So this is the Bhagavan realization. The first one was Brahman realization, realizing God through light, okay, the formless God. All right. Next is Paramatma, means he is in our heart. Okay, you know there is a spirit soul and there is a supreme soul. Okay, but you can't see, you can feel that there are two entities there. But Bhagavan, when Krishna gives his form, then you will know, oh, this is how Krishna looks like. He's got eyes, so many mouths, he's got this color, he's got this hair, he's holding a flute, and he's got peacock feather, and he's got these many qualities, and he loves to reciprocate with his he can reciprocate with people. So just like the last person who stayed on to see who's on the train, he can shake hand with the driver, he can talk to the driver, okay, he can associate with the driver. So this is Bhagavan realization. Okay, Brahman realization, Paramatma realization, and Bhagavan realization. Okay, so you can use this train analogy to explain. The analogy that Prabhupada gave in Bhagavad Gita is sun. First, you see the light, and then you see the disk, right? The sun planet. But who is operating the sun? The sun god. So same concept. Okay. Brahman, Paramatma, Bhagavan. Okay, so we move on. Oh yeah, something about this, right? Those who worship the formless God, they are called impersonalists. Okay, they call Brahmavadis, I think. The second one, worshipper of Paramatma, there are two kinds of people. Those who meditate, right? One, some yogis, they meditate to get mystic powers. Not necessarily they meditate on the Paramatma inside to realize the Vishnu inside. They don't. They meditate to control their senses, control their body postures. Certain sadhanas give them some mystical powers. Their goal is not to achieve God. Okay, so these are the yogis that when they go to the yogic planets, after their credits are due, they will come back and they'll take birth in nice families. Okay, so it's still temporary. So just because somebody is meditating, doing the dhyana yoga, ashtanga yoga, that doesn't mean they get they achieve the goal. Okay, but actually the goal is to realize the supreme inside the heart, and realizing he is the source of everything, you start serving him. That is the goal. Okay, so some yogi, they only want mystic powers. Therefore, some dhyana yogis still on bodily platform. Okay, if they realize that Paramatma is different from the jiva, then they will become bhakti yogis. Otherwise, they will think I am God. Okay, so this is where the issue is. When they realize that I am also God, I can also become God. So Bhagavad Gita says that there is soul and there is supreme soul. Okay, so this is Bhagavan Yad, personal form. Okay. And then, of course, Krishna say why that is easy. And he has to also explain why there is a challenge on the other way. Why is it difficult? Whose turn?
My turn, Mataji. For those whose minds are attached to unmanifested impersonal feature of the Supreme, advancement is very troublesome. To make progress in that discipline is always difficult for those who are embodied.
Okay, so this is the challenge that Krishna is saying. What is the challenge, everyone? One, I want a direct answer from the verse. Okay. The hidden answer is in the second line. If anybody can decipher that and share in the chat, that will be good. The first one is very direct. What Krishna is saying about the challenge? Why I'm not getting the keyword here? What did Krishna say about it? Why he say the impersonal worship is not the recommended way? Okay, so the first problem here is that yes, you're close. Okay, Ram Prabhu, you're also close. Okay, the answer that I am looking for, okay, Venukuma Prabhu, you are also close. What is, so these are all the second part, yeah? The second part. First part, why nobody is giving me the answer? What Krishna says about the impersonal worship? You know, sometimes when you take up diet or when you are having sickness, you're taking some pills, right? You want to ask the doctor, how fast? How fast this will go away? How fast I can grow my hair? How fast can I go thin? Okay, every time you want to see the advancement fast or not. But here, upfront Krishna is telling, now I'm getting the answer. Advancement is very troublesome. Why? I will tell later. Okay. Now, the second one, this is very closely related to this one. Because we are embodied. So I think the three participants mentioned it. Okay, because of the embodiment, because perception of the senses. So Janani, would you like to expand a little bit on the senses? What is about the senses? You got that keyword there, correct? Sorry, what did I click?
The perception of the senses, is it, Mataji?
Yeah, do you want to expand that a little bit? What do you mean by that? Are you talking about how the senses must be engaged? Is that what you mean?
Yeah. How the senses must be engaged, and also like how we use our senses in devotional service actually.
Correct. Okay, thank you, Mataji. Yeah, the senses are always active. The senses always want to work, right? So how can you just shut all the senses and do the meditation, or how do you love the light, right? With your senses, how do you love the light? If so, when you are given a form, Bhagavan's form, like a vigraha, right? So you can use your fingers, you can use your legs, you can use your eyes, your mouth. All this can be engaged, very practical. That is why Krishna say that the other way is not practical, it's very troublesome. Okay, why also I will expand. Okay, so why? Let's go into why. This is the problem, because we are embodied, we have body, we have commitments, we are ordinary people, isn't it? Okay, and this is Kali Yuga, it even makes things more difficult. All right, so you can't possibly attach your mind something it doesn't have form. Okay, you need to have reciprocation with something with form. You need to develop a relationship with somebody when they have a form. How can you really develop relationship with someone who doesn't have a form? Okay, we want to talk to people, you want to interact with people, you want to serve them, there should be exchanges, reciprocation. Okay, so this is why you need the personal form. All right, and if you think that the Supreme does not have a form, it's so difficult to relate to him. Okay, and there are many difficulties in worshipping the impersonal Brahman, because you have to be renounced from a lot of things. You have to really be advanced in the dhyana yoga. You have to learn certain languages. You have to be mentally detached, a lot of things. And you need to have very high knowledge about the Brahman, and not everybody can do that. Okay, how will you possibly explain the Brahman worship to an ordinary person? They wouldn't understand. But if you ask them to cut vegetable for Krishna, they can easily do that. If you ask them to sit and listen to Harinama, they can easily do that. If you give the beats to them, please chant, engage your fingers and your mouth and your ears, they can do that. That's why Krishna says it's very easy. Okay, and that is why it's not said that you cannot reach destination on the other path, but you will take a very long time to advance. You have to follow the path of Jnana Yoga to advance. So it's very long. All right. So generally, those who are following Jnana Yoga will be doing the Brahman worship, the impersonal worship. So it takes very long time to understand. Okay, sometimes it takes many lifetimes to understand the goal of that knowledge. So this is the shortcut. Okay, so the goal of knowledge we already mentioned in the previous chapters, whereby the end of the knowledge is to understand Krishna, to know Krishna. But if you can know Krishna by doing simple devotion service, by engaging your fingers and your limbs, so that will be easier, isn't it? And we can take it up immediately. A child also can take it. Okay, you don't need to wait for the child to grow up, teach them the meditation, the yoga ladder, and then only achieve perfection, susah, isn't it? All right, so following the path of impersonalism, taking a very long time compared to devotion time. Okay, so next one. Okay, yeah, these are the 2 points, yeah, so just mark it. So now we know engaging in devotional service is easier than following the impersonal path. Okay, you have to remember, it's not like Krishna saying you cannot, but it's all about easy, simplicity, and the quick advancement. That is very important, how quick we can make the advancement. So now Krishna is telling us how to perform devotional service. So of course, now you know already, basically there are 9 devotional service, at least up to 5 many of you know already. Okay, if not at least 3, at least the first one. You know already what kind of devotional service that we can do, okay, according to your own capacity. But there are progressive stages of devotion. So here we have actually taken Bhagavad Gita up to the peak. Okay, we already went to the Mount Kinabalu's peak. So now Krishna is going to like slightly come down. If you can't do the top one, the best first class devotion, I'm going to give you an alternative. If you can't do that, or plan B, first, of course, that is target A, right? A class. If you can't do that, then you can go for the B class, you can go for the C class, you can go for the D class, you can go for the E class. So like this, Krishna will give 3 spiritual levels and 2 material levels. Okay, so this is where, remember I said there will be alternative that Krishna is going to give us, because not everybody are on the same level. Not everybody can think of Krishna 24 hours 7, but that doesn't mean we cannot do things for Krishna. And this is where we introspect, we reflect and see where we are and try to step ahead. You have to move your ladder up. Okay, this is the part, yeah. Okay, different levels. So there are 5 levels here. Level 1, level 2, level 3. I am giving in a different color because these are all spiritual levels. This is already at material level. So those who can do this, they will advance here, and then they will step into these 3 spiritual levels. Okay, so but the way that Krishna goes is, he recommends this. But if you can't do this, then you do this. If you can't do this, you do this. If you can't do this, you do this, or you do this. Okay, so let's go to the first level, 12.8. Ram Prabhu.
Yes. Just fix your mind upon me, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and engage all your intelligence in me. Thus, you will live in me always without a doubt.
Okay, thank you, Prabhu. So this is the best class. Okay, first class. So the first class people, what do? First class devotee. What do you understand from this verse? Anybody cannot understand anything from this verse? That will be easy also for me. Let me ask Sivaranjani Mataji. What do you understand from this verse?
Keep thinking about Krishna.
Yes, first class devotee means keep thinking of Krishna 24/7. Like the sadhus, the yogis, the bhakti yogis, like for devotees, if you know Goswamis, if you're coming from Sri Vaishnava background, then like the Alvars, 24/7 they think of Krishna. They travel to Krishna's temples from morning until night. They have a very simple life. They do service in the temple, and they engage in singing his glories. So for our Gaudiya Sampradaya, there is this particular devotee. He was a grihastha. Okay, he was a magistrate. He has his daytime job, but he comes home. Morning he does his sadhana, and then he goes to work, and then he comes back. He writes books, he reads books, and then he goes out to excavate the lost Krishna's temples. And he had so many children. There was even a timetable how he spent his life. So being a grihastha means householder, yeah, meaning married and having a home, having children, having a daily job. Okay, working for a job. So this person has been also thinking of Krishna 24/7. Anybody knows who is that? From existing devotees?
Bhaktivinoda Thakur.
Yeah, Bhaktivinoda Thakur. So, but unfortunately, not everybody can do that. But that is first class devotee. Okay. If you want to be first class, I'm not discouraging you. Okay. I'm not discouraging. I'm just saying, Krishna saying, the first class devotee will fix their mind upon him, okay, and engage all their intelligence in him. And then you will come live with me without a doubt. So this is not a very easy thing to do, but it's not impossible. Why? I'm saying it's not a very easy thing to do. You can actually relate to what Arjuna said in chapter 6 when Krishna was talking about Dhyana Yoga. Are you able to relate to that? You know, him with his headache face. Why we can't do this? What the challenge that we have? Can we sit and chanchala? Yes. Like what, Mataji? What are the challenges? Finance problem? All these problems gives what? That answers are coming. Correct. So what are these causing us? What is this situation causing us? So there is this environment in Kali Yuga, okay, and it's causing the symptoms in Kali Yuga. Okay, mine is difficult to control the Naveen. Yes, this is hitting the bullseye. Misery, stress, right? And because of all these challenges, it's very difficult to think of Krishna 24/7. You will be chanting, but suddenly, did my kid do homework? Did I leave anything on the stove? What else? Did I pay my installment already? Restless, turbulent, obstinate, very strong. Correct, practical on all these issues that I'm telling. Yeah, so therefore it poses challenge for us to think 24/7. However, Krishna is so kind. He never said that very bad, too bad. He never says that, okay? This is the best, yeah. Challenge, the mind is restless. So very good, all of you getting. So I hope you also open the chat and see the answers our friends are giving, yeah. Okay. So he's going to give alternative. Next option, level 2. Siapa? Raghunathan Prabhu, are you here? Okay, Prabhu is not here. Vigneswari Mataji. Are you able to read?
Yeah.
Okay.
My dear Arjuna, O winner of wealth, if you cannot fix your mind upon me without deviation, then follow the regulative principle of Bhakti Yoga. In this way, develop a desire to attain me.
Thank you, Mataji. What is the key word here? What is that key word in the alternative that Krishna is giving us now? Very good. Develop a desire through what? Now we are talking about the practicality of it. Bhakti yoga. Okay, answers are there. So, see, Krishna knows what's our problem, huh? Our mind is restless. So he's telling. Earlier in chapter 6, what did Krishna say when Arjuna said, my mind is turbulent, it's difficult to control? What did Krishna say? And it's possible with and practice and yes. Very good. Some more. Two things. Practice, okay. 2 of you got correct. 3 of you got correct. So you practice something and you have to also detach. Practice and detachment. Remember, Krishna said this. I acknowledge your problem, but this is possible with practice and detachment. So when you see practice and detachment, this is met by doing regulative principles of bhakti. Yes, thank you, Dasrathan Prabhu. Okay, what is regulative principles of bhakti yoga? Can you see this first picture here? It means things like waking up early. Okay, waking up early, opening the altar, of course, your morning chores. Okay, clean up your body, shower, take a shower and everything. Okay, opening the altar, plucking some flowers, doing some arati, greeting the deities. So you do this. This is called one of the regulated principles of bhakti yoga. Regulative means something that you do regularly, which means every morning if you're waking up, first thing you're going to open the altar, that means you are regulated. You have a regulative principle. Okay, if sekejap buka, sekejap tak buka, that is not regulative. Okay, so under any circumstances, this is done unfailingly, then that is regulative principles of bhakti yoga. Okay, what else? Like every Sunday you go to temple. Okay, you are cooking or cutting vegetable or you're serving. So you do this as a habit, as a practice. Then you have a regulated principles of bhakti yoga. Okay, what else? Taking association from devotees. Regularly you're hearing, regularly you're speaking to devotees, regularly you're sitting with devotees and hearing philosophies or kathas together. That is regulative principles. And if you're regularly sitting and chanting, then that is regulative principles of bhakti yoga. You're going to work, okay, you're sending children to school, cooking, eating, okay, you are earning money, and coming back, you sit and do your japa meditation. Okay, meditation on the holy name. That is regulative principle of bhakti yoga. So you are still doing your things. You are still eating. You are feeding your senses. You are satisfying your senses. You are going to work. You are earning money. But you are also doing bhakti yoga. And this is called regulative principles of bhakti yoga. And for those who have guru, you are doing it under the guidance of a guru. So when you have a problem, oh, Gurudev, I cannot chant in the morning because I work very early. Or I'm working night shift and I come back only after sunrise. So how I cannot do Mangala Arati? So the Guru will give you some advices how you can perform your Bhakti Yoga. The principles will not change from me to you to others. It will not change. Chanting is chanting. But what the Guru can tell you is, okay, you do at this time. Okay, you do at this time. If you can't do Aarti in the morning, you can do in the evening. So I have seen somebody coming and complain to Guru Maharaj, I cannot do Aarti 2 times. Then he said, then do once, do only in the evening or whenever you have time. Okay, like that. So advice for person A will not be same for person B. So this is where the Diksha Guru is important or Siksha Guru is important. Diksha Guru means those you have taken initiation from. Okay, you have taken a vow that you will follow the instruction of the Guru and the Guru is taking care of you. However, when the Guru is not present or far away or cannot be contacted for any instructions or advices or consultation, then you will have more than one Siksha Guru in your circle. It could be your temple president, your mentor, the person that you are learning under. So these are all your Siksha Gurus. So you can ask advice from them. Okay, and usually you can ask your Guru, can I take this person as a Siksha Guru? So the Guru will allow. All right, and my Guru Maharaj always says that the Siksha Guru is more important than Diksha Guru because these are the person that's going to keep tab on your advancement. Okay. All right, so like this, yeah, wake up early in the morning. You should not sleep late in the morning, okay? And then you immediately take a bath or, not go out, take newspaper, have a coffee first, have a breakfast first, and then go shower. It's not like that, okay? And then you do chanting or worshipping Krishna. And then you collect flowers. So some people have this collecting of flowers and offering as a daily practice. Then means you are doing regulated principles of Bhakti Yoga. Okay, and then if you're cooking every day and then you're offering, then you are doing regulated principle of yoga. You can offer ghee lamp. Yes, we do that every day. Okay, some people do offering of ghee lamp at temple like Sunday feast. We provide so many ghee lamps that everybody can offer and go home. Okay, some people like some of my friends, if she knows, she has this practice of if she knows that we all are troubled, we are going through some things, some problems, right? She will say, okay, I'll offer a ghee lamp on behalf of you to my Lord. She will do that. So this is also regulated. You are doing for others. Okay, and then like in the past 12 days, you are sitting every day. Who has been attending every day? Can I see anybody who's been attending every day without fail? Is there anybody? Full attendance until now? Tak ada, okay. Skip one day? I think Shamala Mataji, right? You only at one day because you had Lokana Maharaj, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, so which means most of the time you are, oh, congratulations. Sorry, ampun tuanku, Sivaranjini Mataji, Somasudra Prabhu Prasanna. So you all came every day. Venakuma Prabhu. Yes, so these are all full attendance, huh? Okay, very good. I'm so happy. Yes. Of course, those who didn't count, you are also catching up on the YouTube. You report to me. So if you report to me, I would know. Darshini also full. Oh yeah, Mataji always say, Mataji, I'm here. She will say that. Very good, very good. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, so you are very, very regulated. See? Yes. Sorry, yeah, I missed. Because the answers came in a bit late. So I didn't see that. Okay, so like this, you are regulated, hearing the message of Bhagavad Gita and other scriptures. Okay, you can follow online. Now, in this technology world, everything is on YouTube, FB, there are podcasts, there's SoundCloud, so many things. Last time we had to come to temple and then have to listen. That also, if the temple president SMS and we are in the broadcast only, we will receive it. Now, we can just on and just enjoy the class. Okay, very good. However, there is a challenge. Maybe some of you can share. If you're not able to follow this, what is your challenge? I have some challenge here, but before I open that, maybe I want to hear from you. If you are having any challenges doing this regulative principles of Bhakti Yoga, especially you're not coming from a devotee background. Maybe it's just you alone attending the class from your family. Or if you have association with those having this kind of difficulties, that also you can share. Let's see what challenges a person can find in this 12.9. Or if you have faced this during your younger age. I faced that a lot. I faced it a lot. Entertainment means what, Prabhu? Distraction by entertainment, is it? Insufficient time. Okay. Family commitment, betul. Can't wake up early. Okay. Making time. Yeah. Can understand. Used to, yes, yes. Because you're younger, right? Irregular working hours. Totally understandable. Commitments. Super. Okay. He's tired now. I totally understand. Okay. Yes. So all that boils down to this. Whether a person is lack of determination, okay, because of the distractions. Okay, it could be the lifestyle because you have so many commitments, children, husband. If you're staying with parents, lagi susah, right? You have to take care of them, take them to clinic, run here, run there. Okay, I totally understand that. Complete regulation. No, it's an entire day, Prabhu. Remember, if you can't do in the morning, you can do it in the evening. Like you can't chant in the morning. You have to rush to work. When you come back, you're sitting down calmly, and then you do your chanting. So that is also regulative principles of Bhakti Yoga. Anytime. Like myself, I reach my parking very early because I have to beat the jam. I have to move at 6:30. I have to drop my girl at school by 6:45. I reach my parking about 7:20. Even though I clock in 8:15, I stay in my car until 8 o'clock. I do my chanting there at the roadside. I mean, in the car, in the roadside. And then I walk to my work. And that will take me like 10 minutes. So I can do one more round. So I have this counter. Sometimes I just use chanting beats because you have the feel of chanting when you have chanting beats. But if you have, it's me, for me. If I'm carrying too many bags, then I have to use the counter. All right. So it's very dynamic. It's very flexible. Any specific duration, Prabhu? Yes. Usually when you do one round of 108 beats, it will take 7 rounds if you're doing a decent speed. If you're doing very fast, you can finish in 5 minutes, but you may not be pronouncing the words properly. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, we can speak more on this, Prabhu, if you want to know more. So basically it's anytime. But the thing is that later on, when we enter the Jnana Yoga section, you will see how a certain part of the day it's filled with mode of goodness. And then as you advance, the mode will change to passion. And then finally go to ignorance. So we will see all this in detail later. Okay. So these are the challenges, yeah, lack of determination, the challenges that's thrown by your lifestyle. And some people don't have facilities like myself. Last time I didn't have car. So I was relying on devotees to fetch me and send me. Those days, no Grab car. All right. So I have to wait for 1 hour or half an hour at the roadside to flag down taxi. So it was very stressful that time and didn't have money. I was in university. I barely had some money. Finally, one day I was so desperate. I want to go to temple. I only had last 10 ringgit and I had to use that for taxi. Okay. And if I'm going to use the 10 ringgit for this taxi, I don't know how I'm going to come back to my campus. But anyway, I said, Krishna, I'm coming. Whatever it is, I'm coming. You arrange transport for me. So I went. And then I got my present caught attention of some people. Then they asked, where are you coming from? And how are you going back? I say, I don't know. They say, okay, I send you back. So that person sent me back. So like this, somebody will come and help you. And because of these challenges, I was not able to go to temple. Very awkward, especially if you're not working, you're studying, or if you're staying so far away. Like yesterday, 2 Matajis came for the first time. One Mataji came for the first time last week. And then she came again yesterday with another friend. They took train and they took Grab. And then to go back, they also have to take train and Grab. So imagine 2 girls have to travel at night. So it's not very safe. And because of that, they cannot stay until the end. So these are all the challenges. Okay. So for those who cannot perform these regulative principles of Bhakti Yoga, Krishna is giving the next option. Okay, sometimes you have this, the wife wants to be involved, but the husband doesn't involve. But the husband wants it, the wife doesn't want it, the children wants it, the parents don't want it. So all these challenges I faced. So that's what I'm saying. I think it happens in so many people's houses. Okay. So the next option is level 3. Level 3, 1210.
If you cannot practice the regulations of Bhakti Yoga, then just try to work for me, because by working for me, you will come to the perfect stage.
Okay, thank you, Mataji. So I was doing this beginning before I started having my car, before I was independent. All right, so what Krishna is suggesting here is that whenever you can, engage your senses. Whenever there is festival, come and do some service. Okay, cook for Krishna. Like now, Kuhan Prabhu is, I think he's doing some cooking. Okay, of course, he's pretty steady. He's doing that, but we can do things like that. We cannot think, oh, I'm not a devotee yet. I'm not vegetarian yet. I cannot come and cut. No, it's not like that. Okay, you have to start somewhere. So there will be somebody to guide you. So you do that. That is if you can engage your senses. You are physically can be present at that places. If you can't physically present at the places, what you can do is, can you see this Prabhu selling the book? At some, we have this kind of sales and bazaars, shops at bazaars like Deepavali Bazaar. We have Damodara booth. Okay, we invite people to come and offer the ghee lamp. Okay, so if you can't worship Krishna in your house, okay, look here, we have Damodara Krishna here. We have ghee lamp here. Can you just come by as you shopping? Please come in little inside. Just take out your slippers. Okay, you offer this ghee lamp 7 times, and then we give you prasadam and you can go. So next to that, Krishna, we are selling books, beads, coloring books for the children, story book for the children. So you can come, spend some Lakshmi and take some books and go. So by this, you are actually supporting the work in Krishna consciousness. So you are engaging your money, your hard-earned money in that. So you actually cultivating some detachment from your wealth. All right. So if you're working, you have a job, and you don't have time to go to temple regularly, and you can't practice at home because of the challenges at home, then you can do this. Once in a while, you can come to the temple. Once in a while, you can do some donations. I can't figure out what this picture is. Okay. So I think it could be anything like you doing some work for temple, right? We have some contractors or coming. They are considered doing work for Krishna as well. So this also in long run, it will purify them and come to the perfect stage, like Krishna is saying here. So here, Krishna is recommending those who are not able to perform regularly at home or at the temple, then you give your result to work in Krishna consciousness. Okay, some portion, some monthly donation. Last time we had this flood problem 2 years back. So I was having lots of, I think I shared this previously. So I shared this information to my Gita Gyan students, and a lot of them came forward to give donations. And those who can't, they come over to cut vegetable, to cook, to pack, all right, so, and to go and distribute. So this is how you can engage. This is all level 3. Okay, if you can't do this, what could be the challenge here? If you can relate to yourself, if you can't do this level 3, or you know somebody who are not able to do this level 3, this 12-10, what do you think the challenges are? 9:30 already, we have to move on fast. Time, finance, yes, very good. No money, very good. Have you all attended this course before or what? Being there in person. Sure, you all first time attending, huh? You all seem to know the answers very well. Yeah, these are the challenges. Monetary, lifestyle again, facility. Okay, you still can't do that. Then Krishna gives this example. Okay, this is George Harrison. Yeah. Yeah. So what George Harrison did? George Harrison, it was told that everybody knows George Harrison, right? Is there anybody who don't know George Harrison? Someone know? From the Beatles? Beatles? Do you know Beatles? No, Beatles is very famous in 70s, right? Yeah. So one of the prominent member is George Harrison. Okay, and he actually donated. He donated a building. If I'm not mistaken, he donated the entire building, and that building has turned into Radha Krishna temple. Okay, so this is how he engaged in work in Krishna consciousness. It's a music band. Yes, sorry, I forgot to say that. Yeah, it's a music band. Okay, of course, he's using the guitar here. And he has written a song for Krishna as well, My Sweet Lord. So you can Google that. Okay. Right. Okay, if you can't do all these three, Krishna is giving level 4 and level 3. These are the two alternatives to verse 12, 10. If you can't, don't have money, you don't have facilities. But these are not the spiritual alternative. Yeah, it's just an alternative that you can progress. Okay, if you can't do Bhakti Yoga, you can do this. So 12, 11.
Hi, Mataji.
Yes.
If, however, you are unable to work in this consciousness of me, then try to act giving up all the results of your work and try to be self-situated.
Okay, so what Krishna is telling here is you can give donations. Donations for welfare activities, community activities like hospital, children home. These are not spiritual activities, but you are actually, what you're doing is you are surrendering the fruits of your work, the results. All right, even though you're not giving it to Krishna, but somehow you're giving to the welfare of the community and the public. Okay, giving up all result of your work and try to be self-situated. Okay, here some donations given to the hospital. This is the actor what's his name? Akshay Khanna, is it? Akshay Kumar, right? He's giving some donation to the police force, I think. Okay, so this is how they are doing. Some actors also, they are giving donations to some educational fund. And I think I read that Aishwarya she is giving fund for facial deformed children. She's giving that kind of donation. So they are doing all this charity. And if you can't do that, because of course you need money, isn't it? Again, if you do not have money, then Krishna is saying, cultivate knowledge, Jnana Yoga. What is Jnana Yoga? To know that you are not the body, you are the soul. So you have to have this knowledge, basically. Above that is meditation, meditation on the self, supreme self. Okay. And better than that is renunciation of the fruits of action, because meditation is very difficult, right? It's not practical because we always want to engage our senses. So you might as well use your senses to work, and then you surrender the result, renounce the result. Okay, so by this you can achieve peace of mind. So this is level 5. Okay, so we try to see where we are right now, and we try to advance. Okay, that's how you can apply this knowledge here. Okay, knowledge, meditation, renunciation, the fruits of action. So these are 5 levels. Yeah, this is alternative to work for general society, which means when you can't donate anything to the general society, then you can do this. This is for the self. Okay, we will skip this. We're gonna, this is a chart. Okay, so better than knowledge is meditation. Better than meditation, renunciation of fruits of action. Okay, and then you can get peace. This is also another diagram for your easy understanding. We will skip this. We keep this for Monday's recap. Okay, 12:20, last one.
Those who follow this imperishable path of devotional service and who completely engage themselves with faith, making me the supreme goal, are very, very dear to me. Okay, thank you, Mataji. So, of course, always Krishna conclude by saying how the devotee surpasses everything else. Okay. Okay, so Pushpa Mataji, I think we can go with your story. Is it okay?
Okay, Mataji.
Okay,
Is it okay for now, or tomorrow? Before we start class, then I can do the
Monday. Yeah, Monday.
Yeah, Monday. Is that okay, Mataji?
Yeah. I think we can keep for Monday. So for now, maybe I can do this story. So I'm not going to narrate this story myself. Okay, I want to let Prabhupada narrate this. So those who are late, you can leave. those who have time, we can watch this story together.
If you go to India, you will find one nice temple in Odisha. It is called the Temple of Witness Gopal, Sakhi Gopal, Witness Gopal. This Gopal was situated in a temple at Vrindavan. Now two Brahmins, one young and one old, they went to visit Vrindavan, the place of pilgrimage. The old man felt very obliged, and he began to say to the young man, "My dear boy, you have done so much nice service to me, I am obliged to you. So I must return that service. I must give you some reward." So the young man said, "Oh, my dear sir, you are old man. You are just like my father. So it is my duty to serve you, to give you all comforts. I don't require any reward." So the old man also thought that, "No, I am obliged to you, I must reward you." So he promised that I shall get you married with my youngest daughter. Now the old man was a very rich man, and the young man was not rich, he was poor, although he was Brahmin, learned. So he said that you are promising, you don't promise this, because your kinsmen, your family men will not agree. I am poor man, and you are rich man, you are aristocratic. So it will be not, this marriage will not take place. Don't promise in that way before the deity. It is not good, because it is there. But he was firm faith that Krishna is hearing, because the talks were going on in the temple. So it will not be fulfilled. No, because the old man becomes still more persistent. "Oh, my daughter I shall offer you, who can permit me?" So in this way, when they came back, one day the old man proposed to his eldest son that your youngest sister should be married with that boy that I promised. The eldest son of that old man became very angry. "Oh, how you have selected that boy to be husband of my sister? He is unfit, he is poor man, he is not so educated. Oh, this cannot take place." He did not agree. Then the mother of the girl, "Oh, if you get my daughter married with that boy, then I shall commit suicide." Now the old man is perplexed. Then one day, the boy was anxious, so he one day came to his house. "Well, my dear sir, you promised before the Lord Krishna, and you are not fulfilling your promise. How is that?" The old man was silent, because he was praying to Krishna that I am now perplexed. If I persist in offering this daughter to this boy, now there will be great trouble in my family. So he was silent. So in the meantime, the eldest son came out, and he began to quarrel. "Oh, you plundered my father in the place of pilgrimage. You gave him some intoxication. You took all the money from my father. Now you say that he has promised to offer you my younger sister, you fool." He began to say like that. Then all the neighboring gentlemen, they say, "What is the trouble? Here there is so much howling. Do you think, sir, that this boy is fit for my sister? We are aristocratic family and this or that," so on. So the young man said, the young man could understand the old man is still agreeable, but these his sons and family members, as he suggested, they are not agreeable. So he explained the whole thing before all the gentlemen who came, that this is the fact. Now he promised. Now, for the sake of his son and wife, he cannot fulfill his promise. This was a promise before the law. Then in the meantime, the old man's eldest son was atheist, he voluntarily says, well, if your God comes and give witness, then I shall offer my sister to you. But he was confident that God will come. He said, yes, I shall ask God, I shall ask Krishna to come and give witness. So, before all gentlemen this was done, then the young man said, all right, let us now come to agreement that I shall call Krishna from Vrindavan to give witness in this matter. And when he comes, we will have to. All the other gentlemen, they also persisted, so there was an agreement. So, this boy went again to Vrindavan, this Gopal, and he prayed that, sir, you have to go with me. He was so staunch devotee, just like talking with friends. He did not think that is a statue, it is image. He is God. That was his conviction. So, God said, how do you think that a statue can go with you? I am a statue. I cannot go. Then this boy replied, well, if a statue can speak, he can go on. Then Krishna said, all right, I shall go. Then there was some arrangement that you will not see me, but I will go with you. I will go with you, and you will hear the sound of my nopur. The nopur is an instrument which is fixed up in the leg of Krishna. It sounds like chin, 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 just like. So, he was going with him, and daily he was offering some food stuff, taking alms from the village.
Mani Gometaka Lohitaka Nila Marakatavala Vayujajala Makuta Virajita Chigura Manogara Mudira Samakara Kalevara Kinkini Ganamani Nupura Dhari Rajagopala Mani Nupura Dhari Kankanaginkini Ganamani Nupura Dhari.
In this way he was coming, but when he came in the precincts of the village, of his own village, he could not hear the sound of the nupur. So he saw back, oh, where is Krishna? He saw that statue is there. The statue is standing. So he informed all the villagers that Lord has come to give witness, and it is about some thousands of years before this thing happened. People were convincing, yes, there was no such a big statue this boy could not bring. So they believed, and there was a temple constructed by the king of that country, and still that temple is there, and it is named, the Lord is named as Sakhi Gopal. Sakhi Gopal, Gopal means, Gopal is the name of Krishna's boyhood. So, because he came to give witness in that controversy, so that temple is still there.
My dear friends, the Supreme Lord has again proven himself to be Bhakta Vatsala. He personally came here to bear witness. So, from now on, he will be known as Sakshi Gopal. Sakshi Gopal ki! Sakshi Gopal ki!
Okay, yeah, so this is the story where to say that Krishna is just not a statue or form. He's got feelings, you know, he can be present if he wants to give such special blessings. Okay, yeah, so that's Sakshi Gopal. So if you go to Jagannath Puri there, you can visit this temple. Okay, yeah, just now Subhasana Prabhu asked what are the practical things that we can follow. So it is here. Okay, actually I explained already. Okay, you can have this. So I hope there are some changes. We are on 12th day. So I hope these 12 days have brought some changes in your life as at today. Like maybe you have started chanting or you're doing your daily offerings of flowers as a gesture of a devotional service. Maybe you have started offering water or milk or yogurt rice if your house is not vegetarian yet. So you can use vegetarian food to offer to Krishna, even fruits. So when you offer fruits, you make sure you cut it. Okay, not put the whole thing is, on the altar and you put tulsi leaf on it. And apart from hearing Bhagavad Gita, I hope that you're also reading at home. Maybe those that we covered already, those we did not cover because we skipped the verses, right? And your Ekadashis. Okay, if you have any questions how to observe Ekadashi, you can ask me. So basically, it's safe to be just fruitarian on that day. Fruits, milks, nuts is easy that way. And if there's any others, so you can feel free to share with us. Okay, we have a last slide reading. Anybody would like to read? This is the last slide.
I'll read, Mataji.
Janani, okay.
O Harinama, O name sung by the sages, O transcendental syllable that bring bliss to the people, even if you are spoken only once, and even if you are spoken disrespectfully, you at once remove the many harsh sufferings of everyone.
All right, thank you, Mataji. So even if you say harmfully or just in just manner, joking or ridiculing manner, so everything has result, good result. Okay. All right, so that's about it. Thank you very much for staying on. Usually chapter 12, I could finish fast. I don't know this group. I don't know why. I think because there's very good interaction with you all. So all our classes are finishing a bit late. So my apologies for that. Okay. Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you. So I'll see you all on Monday with Jnana Yoga. So please be prepared. Thank you, Sivaranjini. Okay, so we are done with Bhakti Yoga section. So remember the points. And we are entering Jnana Yoga section. I should tell you that you be prepared, you know, like prepare your notes or things like that. It's going to get a little technical, a little academic. So I'll try to keep it simple as much as I can. But it's very important to understand this Jnana Yoga, to understand ourselves and others. All right, thank you everyone. Have a good weekend. See you on Monday. But keep interacting in the group, okay? So keep it live and active. My humble obeisance, Shyamala Mataji. Thank you. Hare Krishna.